do you think of when you think of minimalism? So white walls, minimal or no furniture, maybe one set of dishes for each person who lives in your house, or a super restricted menu that probably includes tofu and brown rice. Not that I'm dissing tofu and brown rice, I like tofu and brown rice, but you get the picture. It's a sort of sparse, minimal, severe sort of aesthetic that a lot of people think of when they think of minimalism. And here's what I want you to know. You get to do minimalism in whatever way best works for you. So I love Joshua Becker's definition of minimalism, which is minimalism is the intentional promotion of the things we most value by removing everything that distracts us from it. So you get to keep the things you value and you can still be a minimalist. For me, that includes color, scent, yummy food. I have plenty of dishes to use with my family and guests, and I have 2 sets of sheets for every bed. You do not have to be deprived to be a minimalist. You get to keep the fun, you get to keep the color, you get to keep the terrific food, and you get to keep the cozy. So if you're feeling deprived, I would argue that you're maybe missing the point of minimalism, which is getting rid of the things that distract you from the things that you care about most. Does that mean we get to keep our clutter and still be a minimalist? No, I mean, I think we mostly agree that clutter distracts us from the things that we most value. I love Joshua Becker's definition of minimalism, and I want to hold to that. I want my home to feel warm and cozy, never dreary. I want it to feel life-affirming and good, not cold and sterile. Frugality is something that most minimalists truly value. I think we can have fun, warm, and cozy and stay frugal. I think you can have the finer things in life like great chocolate, great coffee, lovely olive oil on your bread, and still be a minimalist. It just may be that we need to have those things at home instead of out in restaurants. And for special occasions, budget ahead, save up, and enjoy your time out. So here's to a brighter, more cheerful minimalism. Still frugal, still calm, but definitely not dreary. With that, here are 5 ways that my life still feels fun and maybe sparkly, even though I'm a minimalist. So number 1 is beautiful food. I love beautiful food. Give me all the homemade ice cream with homemade fudge sauce, a great cup of coffee. I love the way preserved lemon and fresh rosemary just makes a roast chicken absolutely delicious. I love a runny poached egg on my salad, and again, coffee. Always coffee. Food is a definite character in our home, and I would cut a lot of other things before I cut our food budget to the absolute bone. Number 2, and I mentioned it in number 1, but great coffee. My husband and I both love great coffee. He invested several years ago in an espresso maker that we have enjoyed so much over the years. He's gotten into coffee roasting, which means that he roasts our beans. What this means with this level of coffee geekiness at home is that we don't go out for coffee very much, which our coffee maker has paid for itself over the years. What this means is that we don't spend money out at coffee shops frequently because we have delicious coffee at home. Number 3 and number 4 go together. Number 3 is just owning less. Owning less, it makes everything better. You have more space for everything, and you're not buying a lot. Which brings us to number 4, which is less but better. When you don't own as much, when you do purchase, you can afford to buy things that are a little bit nicer. So I have a couple of examples for less but better. One of them is that I don't buy expensive designer clothing for the most part. I buy my jeans at Old Navy. So a couple of years ago when my purse got really tired, I replaced it with a Madewell bag that cost $200, which for me is a lot of money. But I didn't really hesitate at spending that money because I knew I was going to get a ton of good from my handbag in the years to come. The next example is at my birthday dinner last year. We don't go out to expensive restaurants very often, but my last birthday, we saved up and budgeted for a really nice meal out. Now, if this were an ongoing occasion, it would completely stress me out to spend a lot on a meal, but because it was a special occasion, it didn't stress me out so much. We had saved for it. It was a, once a year kind of meal out for us, and the food was as good as we expected it to be. So we thoroughly enjoyed it, and we're glad that we got to do it. Less but better. The fifth way that I thought of that I'm able to really enjoy life as a minimalist is smells. I don't really wear perfume, but I do enjoy scented lotion. So, for example, last year at Christmas, I asked for some Le Labo lotion, which is quite spendy. I didn't get it for Christmas, so I went out in January and bought it for myself. It's October, this tells you I'm a slow user. I'm still enjoying that bottle of lotion. I use just a little bit every night. It's my favorite rose scent, and I've thoroughly enjoyed using it. Next is I love a good candle. I do plenty of Target candles that are pretty inexpensive, but every now and then I buy a lovely candle that I really enjoy using. At Christmas times has a pine scented candle that I absolutely love. So last year I bought a couple of them and enjoyed them throughout the entire holiday season. I'm looking forward to doing the same thing this year. So with all of this, when I think of minimalism, I don't think of any sort of dreariness or asceticism, at least not the version of minimalism that I'm drawn to. I always go back to that definition of clearing the way, clearing the clutter, so that we can enjoy the things that are most valuable to us without being distracted. So if color and beauty and great smells and lovely food, beautiful coffee, wonderful chocolate are valuable to you, then they are not a distraction, and they are good and things that we should keep in our lives. I'm Robin from Minimalism Over 50. If you're new here, I'd love to have you subscribe and follow along. I make videos about minimalism, frugality, and simplicity. We'll see you next time.